All right, everybody, last topic here. We're going to talk about how to graph when we are in complete standard form. So let's go ahead and give this a try. So we're going to go about this the same way we did with the other problems. First thing we want to do, let's locate our line of symmetry. Let's find out what that is. So once again, we should understand we are in that form so we can identify these numbers. Okay, here we go. So line of symmetry, x equals negative b over 2a. So b is negative 2. So it'll be a negative, negative 2, which is a 2. So I'm just going to write that as a 2 over 2 times a, which is 1. So this is 2 over 2 or 1. So line of symmetry is x equals 1. So we might as well go ahead and put that in our graph. Next thing we want to do is make a table of values. So we got our x coordinates, our domain goes there. Our equation goes next, x squared minus 2x plus 3. We'll get our y values, and now we know that these are ordered pairs when we put everything in here. All right, let's see what we get. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our value for the line of symmetry, place it into the equation, and that'll give us the coordinates of the vertex. So carefully compute that. That would be 1 minus 2 would be negative 1 plus 3 would be 2. So it's the ordered pair 1, 2. So let's go ahead and graph that. All right, that'd be 1, 2 right there. All right, so that's where the vertex is. That's important, everybody. That's the vertex. Now let's go ahead and pick another value, and let's stay close to the line of symmetry. So how about 2? Let's put a 2 into this equation. So it would be, oh, I already messed up. That's going to be a 2 going in there. It would be 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 3. Let's calculate that. It would be 4 minus 4 would be 0 plus 3 is 3. Ordered pair is 2, 3. Let's start there. Let's do our graphing. 2 to the right and then 3 up. And let's do one more point. How about we try a 3? So that'd be 3 squared minus 2 times 3 plus 3. All right, let's say that'd be 9. Minus 6 would be 3 plus 3 would be 6. So it's the ordered pair 3, 6. All right, 3 to the right, 6 units up. And now what we want to do is reflect those other 2 points right there and there. And now we go ahead and graph our parabola, making a U-shaped graph. And there we go. Now we have our graph made. Looks good. Let's go ahead and try another. Here we go, everybody. So let's just keep in mind, once again, this is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c format, right? So let's get our line of symmetry, negative b over 2a. All right, here we go. So I want the opposite of b, so that'd be negative 4 over 2 times a, which is a 1. So that'd be negative 4 over 2 or negative 2. So x equals negative 2 is the line of symmetry. And we know the vertex lies on there somewhere, don't we? So we're going to go ahead and set up a table of values now. Put in our function and get our range values here eventually. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and start this process. Let's take the line of symmetry value as our first domain here. It would be negative 2. Now you got to be very careful when you substitute this. I suggest you use parentheses for negative numbers so you don't make a mistake. All right, let's go ahead and calculate this. So that'd be negative 2 squared would be 4, and then you'd have minus 8. So that'd be negative 4 plus 3 would be negative 1. So that's the ordered pair negative 2, negative 1. Let's go ahead and move it. -2, -1. And there it is on the line of symmetry. That makes sense. Remember, that is your vertex. Well, let's pick some numbers that are close to that. How about -1? Remember, always try to stay close to the line of symmetry. All right, let's go ahead and calculate that. That'd be 1 minus 4 would be -3 plus 3 would be 0. So this would be at -1, 0. Let's go ahead and graph that. So -1, 0 goes right there. And then finally, let's go ahead and put the number 0 in here. That should be pretty easy to calculate with. 0 is always a good number to use. Easy to calculate with. Well, you can see that's just going to give you 3. That's the ordered pair 0, 3. See if we can move that so you don't go left or right. Just go up 3. Now it's time to go ahead and use the line of symmetry to our advantage. Let's move some points. Reflect that point there. Reflect that point over there. Draw your parabola in as a nice smooth curve looking like the letter U. And that problem is done. Okay, let's go ahead and try a few more. This one's going to be a little bit trickier. Definitely a little bit trickier. So let's keep in mind that we've got this in y equals ax squared plus bx plus c form. -b over 2a. Now watch this carefully. -b will be a -2. That'll make a 2. All over 2 times. Now what is a in this case? It's actually a 1, a -1, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is going to give you 2 over -2 after you multiply. -1 is the answer. That is the line of symmetry. X equals -1. Let's put that in the graph right now. Time to set up our function. I suggest you leave that -1 in there, like I have done. That'd be a nice reminder of exactly how this is to be calculated. Very important. All right, let's start off with the line of symmetry value coming in here first. Now watch very carefully how I substitute this in here. So it's -1 times -1 squared. See, I'm just putting in place of the x. Minus 2 times -1 minus 3. I want you to try to do that mentally, but if you cannot, go ahead and use your calculator. So this will be -1 squared to be 1 times -1. That'll be -1, and then you have plus 2. That'd be 1 minus 3 would be -2. So that might be a tough one for some of us to calculate mentally, but you can do it. -1, -2. And I see that my vertex is on the line of symmetry, so that's making sense. Let's put a next number in that's close to the line of symmetry, like x equals 0. So when we put this in, it should be pretty simple to calculate. So all those will cancel out, just be -3. So 0, -3 is that answer. Let's go ahead and graph it. All right, we need one more number. How about the number 1? That's still pretty close to the line of symmetry. All righty, let's go ahead and substitute that into our function. Very carefully calculate that. So that'd be -1 minus 2, -3. I think it's -6, everybody. Okay, once again, double check that. It'd be -1 minus 2 would be -3 minus 3. Yep. 1, -6 will be that answer. 1 and then -6. All right, so now what we want to do is reflect these points across the line of symmetry. There's one there. There's the other there. Draw a nice curve. Notice this one's upside down. The implications of that are the fact that A is a negative number. Okay, let's go to the next question. See if we can do this one, everybody. All right, let's start off with our line of symmetry. Okay, first of all, negative b, see how it's already a negative number? So that'd be a 12 over 2 times a, which is a positive 2. So that's 12 over 4, x equals 3. Okay, let's go ahead and put a line of symmetry at x equals 3. That'll help us draw our function. Let's put our function in here. And let's go ahead and begin. So step number 1, choose the line of symmetry as our first point. So that would be 3. Let's carefully put that into the function. Okay, now I don't know, this might be a good point where as the numbers get a little bit larger, you might want to use a calculator to assist you with your graphing. And nothing wrong with that if the numbers get a little bit tricky to work with. So I'm going to move this calculator over here. All right, here we go. So we want 2. I'm going to put my numbers in parentheses using my square button there. Minus 12 times 3. And then plus 15. All right, so I'm getting negative 3 for that. All right, so take a good look at the way I entered that into the calculator. And that's the way you should be doing it as well. All right, so that's negative 3. Let's graph that. 3 and then negative 3. All right, next, let's put some more points in there. Let's stay close to the line of symmetry. How about we put a 2 in there next? All right, everybody go ahead and try to calculate that. So what you could do is you could just use your calculator and you could edit what you have here, which I think is what I'll do. So I'm just going to type over the top of this and put a 2 here. And erase the other 3 or type over the top of it and put a 2 in there. Eventually it'll go. Okay, here we go. And I get a negative 1. So 2 negative 1 is my point. All right, let's graph that. 2 negative 1. And let's stay close. Let's put a 1 in there. Okay, that might be a little bit easier to calculate. Let's see, that'd be 2 minus 12 would be negative 10 plus 15 would be 5. Let's recalculate that, make sure we're right. That'd be 2 minus 12 be negative 10 plus 15. Yeah, 1, 5. All right, 1 and then 5. Now our job is to go ahead and reflect these. So we're going to go ahead and move these points over there. Time to graph. Try to make as much like a U-shaped object as you can, and there you go. Might even want to be able to start commenting about why this looks a certain shape. Okay, everybody, so there we go. That's a pretty good practice on how to graph a parabola.